Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Fahey-Ahrndt. I am a leadership coach and I love to plan, especially digital planning. Today I'm going to show you the intentional growth planner that I've created. If you haven't seen it, there's many videos I've done on the different templates in this planner, so I will link them in the card above. So today we're going to be looking at the mindset section and we're going to be doing a little bit of journaling, and I have some wonderful journal prompts I'm going to talk you through. So let's get down to it. From the flat lay in this planner, whether you're using it in GoodNotes, you can click the links, or if you're using it in OneNote, you can just go to that tab. So you click Mindset and then we'll select Journal. All right, so now we're in the journal section. I've already outlined a few questions for you. What do I know for sure? How can I help? And what would great look like in this situation? So I just got this book a few weeks ago. It's called Life's Messy, Live Happy by Cy Wakeman. I absolutely love her work. She used to be in healthcare, HR, or human resources, and now she has a coaching business, a speaking business, and she is a drama researcher, and she's really known for her reality-based thinking. I took the jacket off this book. I don't know, do any of you do this? This is something I do because I carry my books around with me, and the jackets end up getting smushed. Plus, I love to see the beautiful way, the color of the book underneath and the text that they've chosen. Cy's book is wonderful. In the beginning, she shares her method that has made her pretty popular. So there are 3 questions to find clarity. What do I know for sure? How can I help? And what would great look like in this situation? So I'm going to take you through those questions and show you how you can use this planner to journal. So I already have the questions listed out here. So I'm going to go in edit mode, and I'm going to just give you a few points to think about when you're using these questions. So overall, you want to use these questions to get yourself in higher self. So if you're finding you're in a very negative place, or in your very negative spiral, or maybe you're thinking about something, ruminating about it, and you just need to find clarity, like what's going on here and what's the next thing that I can do, these questions are so wonderful. So what do I know for sure? This question loosens the ego's grip. And this question also often reveals a less harsh reality. Something that Cy talks about, and a lot of people talk about, is the stories that we're telling ourselves. So have you ever been in sort of a negative mindset where you're just sort of thinking about all the worst case scenarios and telling the worst story, like they hate me, they don't love me, I'm doomed, like this is it, I have to quit, I have to start over, all these super negative things. When we're in a spiral like that, these stories are really extreme. And I think that's what Cy means when she talks about finding a less harsh reality. We're so hard on ourselves, and the stories that we tell are so harsh. And so when we ask ourselves, what do we know for sure? We realize that our reality isn't that bad. For example, you might, like I said, you might start thinking like, oh, I really messed up at work. I'm going to have to start all over in my career. Well, is that really true? What could you do? And what do I actually know? You could say something like, I made a mistake. It was unintentional. I feel really embarrassed about it. And I know that I may have hurt people's feelings, but I also know that I can probably correct it. Or I know that I have people that support me. So really you can see how it's not like I have to quit my job and go under a rock, but it's more like, hey, I made a mistake. I have to do something to fix it. Or I know that I have a support system. The second question is, how can I help? And this gets you out of victim mode. And this also gets you into the co-creator. And Cy also calls it and compassionate creator. Cy also has a really cool quote, and I love it. She always says, stop judging and start helping. I love this. So, if we go back to our first question, the first question was, what do I know for sure? So you figure out what the real story is, not the extreme story that you're spiraling around. And then this question gets you into action. It's like, okay, so how could I help? And you can list off all the different points. I could help by talking it through with a coworker. I could help myself or others by journaling on it. I could maybe apologize. I could ask for feedback. What could I do? How can I create a better reality for myself? And notice she also uses the word compassionate. So this isn't just having empathy where it's like I can stand in that person's shoes, but it's really like feeling and understanding like, okay, like I am a human, or this person's a human. They made a mistake. I made a mistake. It's okay. Really getting even further than I can imagine their reality, but you know what? I'm going to give some grace. Be compassionate with yourself and with others. This third question is, what would great look like in this situation? And Cy calls this one liberation. And she also talks about how your external circumstances don't drive your decisions and your actions. So you can live, this is how you live in your values. And this is how when you live in your values, you live in integrity. And when you live with integrity, you're doing that purposefully. Okay, I hope I spelled that right. So what would great look like in this situation? That's where you start thinking about the bigger picture, your higher self, the best version of you, I guess I would call it. So for example, if you made an error at work, the worst version would be like, I don't address it and I just go on feeling guilty and maybe I end up quitting. But the greatest, what would great look like in this situation? Great would look like owning the error. Great would look like asking for feedback. Great would look like apologizing. Great would look like being compassionate towards myself. Great would look like forgiving myself and moving on. Great would look like figuring out how I could learn from this situation. So you can see where it's almost impossible to be in a negative spiral when you're saying, hey, what do I know for sure? What's really going on? How could I help? And what would great look like in this situation? So if I think about this, you've got like lower self, which is sort of that negative spiral, or you could have higher self, where you are in that reflective state and you have humble curiosity and you're toggled up. And this is where we want to be. This is where we want to be. And this is where we want to get to when we are in a negative spiral, to this positive place. And that's what these questions help you do. So I hope this journaling session helped you and gave you some ideas for prompts that you could do if you're ever in a situation where you need to find clarity. And again, the book to check out is called Life's Messy, Live Happy by Cy Wakeman. All right, until next time, everybody, take care and be a light. And remember, you can find this planner in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Take care.